tiebreaker scenario. Have y'all looked at the ACC standings with the three SMU, Clemson, Miami that don't play each other? That could all end up with the same. I mean, what you need though, what you need, let's say Miami beats Syracuse and SMU, who's undefeated in conference play, has to lose the Cal. Let's say if that happens and they're all sitting there 7-1 in conference play, no head to head to break the tie. What two do you take?
Who's playing Cal? Clemson is?
No, SMU.
Um,
SMU? Okay.
SMU.
SMU.
So here's the
SMU.
thing about it. SMU and Cal are not that much of a
Yeah.
time zone difference. And so
Uh
it
huh.
won't really matter who's got the home field advantage there, in my opinion, because SMU is just a better team. Now, if it was Cal and Clemson had to
Yeah.
go to Cal, I would worry about it. Or if it was Cal and Miami had to go to Cal, I would worry about it because of the time zone difference. It's pretty tough to travel from east to west and play a football game. It's really tough,
Huge.
because all of a sudden a noon kickoff is 9 a.m. to their clock. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's really tough to go across the country and play a noon kickoff or even a 3:30 kickoff game at times because you're so jet lagged and screwed up from the trip. But let's say it's a noon kickoff and an East Coast team's going to travel all the way out west. Well, in their biological bodies, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They're not ready to
Yeah.
play a damn football game. So that's where I feel like Cal and Stanford made a huge mistake of going to the ACC and SMU. I think they can adjust, but it's going to
SMU's in
be. But
Dallas, dude.
you're talking about one team adjusting to a little bit of a clock change. But when you're talking a whole schedule of all the East Coast teams having to adjust to go out and play now, two or three teams out west, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it
You
does. You
should.
think time doesn't play a factor, man? It'll mess with you. I know when I'm like, I'm in Alabama. When I first moved here, I moved from Florida and waking up in the morning thinking it was 7 when it was 6.
Hmm.
It screwed with me, man. It'll
Yeah,
screw with those
and you
football
think
players.
about it, that everybody talks about, well, West Virginia's struggled. West Virginia's struggled since they went to Big 12. They're not as good as they thought they were. No, they're
Right.
still they're just now starting to get used to the time zone. They really are. You got to think when we go out to play a home game, we're traveling a long daggone way, and there's a time zone difference. And you look at
One
teams like
hour.
UCF and Cincinnati, they came into Big 12. Hey, UCF and Cincinnati were pretty good programs. They have done diddly squat in the Big 12. That time zone difference from going to the East Coast to the West Coast is really, really hard. But going from West to East is not as hard as going from East to West.